right, a very good morning to you and welcome to TV XY. It's a time now for us to bring you Afisem on our regular morning programming. But today, because of the guest I am having, I would have to speak a little of English, so please forgive me. Our guests are not very fluent in the Chi language. We'll try as much as possible to say, what's a brofo pa? So today I'm having a conversation with a new group that has been launched in the NDC. It's the group of individuals who contested the just ended NDC primaries in May and were not successful. Some were beaten by just 3 votes, others 7, others to 1. I mean, Dawn, for example, was just beaten by a single vote. That's K2 North. And I mean, it was a very, very tough battle for them. Now, they have come together to form what we call the National Caucus of NDC parliamentary aspirants. And now, what they seek to do is to ensure that their base is strengthened. And so, our figures show that we had about 700 of them who, were seeking to contest, and that 500 of them, actually contested. And so, all of these groups have come together from across the country. Last Friday, they officially launched their base to help the NDC's cause for Victory 2024 and beyond. That's how they call it, Victory 2024 and beyond. This morning I have in studio Don Emmanuel Agbanyo. He contested K2 North constituency and he is the national treasurer of the National Caucus for NDC parliamentary aspirants. Don, good morning and welcome.
Good morning, Wisdom.
Also have with me Reverend James Ofoyi Bacha Suhum. He contested in Suhum and he is the national PRO of the caucus. Reverend Akwaba. Reverend, I'm sure saw the Bible need quotations will be by. Anyway, here.
Matthew 7, chapter 10,
verse 14.
And then 13 and 14.
Okay, we'll read it.
Yes, we'll read it.
And I mean, cases.
Yeah, all kinds is here. You're relating to the AC or my specifically to Akosombo.
Okay, so is that Matthew chapter 7 verse 14 and 13? 13 and 14.
Yes.
Okay, so where's my Bible? Matthew. Okay, so Matthew chapter 7 and the verse 13. I read from the NIV.
Wonderful.
Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But, that's the verse 14, but small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. How is that related to Akosombo?
2016, we entered through the wide gate.
Mm-hmm. Which was what?
Which was big promises. Everything was like Ghana is becoming like the next Miami or California, telling them all sort of things. Yetisikaso accommodate and blah 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 and blah 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 said it. It was wide. It felt like it can accommodate every Ghanaian, which we all entered into it. But looked at where we are now. It's distraction.
So I get a relation now.
Yeah.
Dawn. The Dawn. The first day I heard the Dawn, I was like, hey, who is this Dawn? Yeah. Is this some bar or be like that? Because Dawn is a big man. So you are the national treasure. Now let's go to your issues. But let's start from the issues where, Reverend was talking about the Akosombo Dam. Now, Reverend, you would follow through if you look at the dynamic. Somebody would say that, look, we could have prevented this. Because if we know the level of the dam, where it gets to, that we can spill water. From June last year, we could have seen and said that, look, we could do something better and not wait till now. Now we have to resort to a level where if care is not taken, we may open to the highest and the devastation that awaits us.
Let me greet your viewers this morning, and then our flag bearer, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, a very good example of everything. He demonstrates high level of leadership, He's always making sure that he does what people cannot do. And we thank him for going to Akosombo or going to the Volta region to go and see the people. And let me greet the leadership of the National Caucus. If you look at the situation that we are having now, it is well orchestrated, well engineered situation that people sat down and planned that this is what we are going to do to this country at a time like this. And as a matter of fact, they have achieved whatever they want to, they planned. And then no wonder they are exhibiting a high level of we don't care attitude to it as well. Because, excuse me to say, if you cause a problem, if you burn your house, you are not the first person who will go and call the fire service to come. Because you know what you are doing. So why would you call for the fire service to come and rescue? This situation we are having now, exactly 14th of October, was 1 year that they discovered that in 14th October 2022, the level of the water was at 277 point, I think 14 feet or whatever. So, and our highest peak of the dam is supposed to be 278. So, if you have gotten to a point where you know that your dam is getting to the brim from last year, and those catchment areas, wisdom, ensuo koswa towo hono.
Yeah.
Ensuo to. Unim say, madie abeda no konkonso is at the level where if we don't do any or we don't take any measure, anything can happen. Why should you sit down and wait for us from last year, October 14th, when you had that your records? Because Akosombo, the kind of institution that it is, it has everything. All the departments that you need to talk of, it is there. The meteorologists and everything, so they know that it's going to be rain, there's going to be this, there is engineers, there is a meters that is checking everything, that people goes to check the levels of the water all the time to know that at the end of the day, we are in a safe hands. So from last year and this year, that you realize, why should you sit down up until we have to get to October? Because when we got to June of this year, it was raining in those catchment areas, and you saw that your water level is rising. But we have to sit down and wait, because we already knew what we were going to do. And now we are just 2 meters from the dam.
National disaster awaits us.
I did some build-up. And let me just go through it and then tell you, just give me some few minutes. And then I will show you some communities that has been affected so far. If you look at the Central Tongue, we have been affected by 30 communities. If you look at the South Tongue district, we have been affected by 22 communities. If you look at the North Tongue district, we have been affected by 23 communities. If you look at the Keta district, it is 10 communities that have been affected. If you look at the Anglon now is looking at 16 communities being affected. These are all, excuse me to say, they are all polling areas, polling stations. Displeasing people. Look at water level. How is somebody going to find his voter ID to go and vote? What has happened to voters ID in there? So let's wait. Let's finish the registration, and then when we finish the registration, we are going to start this.
Oh, that's your thinking into it.
Please, let's be real. Let's be real. Why did it not happen during the limited registration?
Maybe by then the levels haven't increased.
My brother, what are you saying? Wisdom, let me go back to the same thing that I said I've done a build-up on this. And I can tell you that I said from last year, they knew that the level has gotten to a point that they need to spill.
Well, so you feel it's just a deliberate attempt to frustrate people in the Volta region. Now, Don, did you share same opinions?
Yeah, thank you very much. Our good morning to our cherished viewers all over the world. Indeed, it is pathetic, and I believe that this current government, specifically Nanado Baumia MPP-led government, excuse me to say, think that Ghanaians are stupid. But let's tell them on the face that we are not stupid at all. Because we have the national security architecture design where the critical infrastructure installations like the Akosombo Dam do have measurement instruments, submersible pressure transducers to detect the water level at any given time. So if they think that we are all stupid and they are doing this kind of criminal attitude, criminal activities by destroying lives and property, I can assure them that one day, and that day will definitely come. You see, they will account for that insensitivity and, for me, that fraudulent activity or act. Because you can't say that you just wake up yesterday and you realize that the water level is too high and it's going to destroy the dam, and therefore you spill it over people and destroy their homes and make them homeless.
Don, how about the
that I said, it is within the national security architecture design. NADMO should have a working plan. NADMO, that the National Disaster Management, should have a working plan. Aside that, the Volta River Authority and their engineers, they should have a first-hand information of exactly what ought to be done when these things are about to happen. And just as Reverend Bacha said, these are orchestrated, intentional acts by wicked and dastardly leaders of this country. As if Ghanaians are stupid. As I said, we aren't stupid. I am very sure that there is an intelligence. As far as the national security is concerned, there is an intelligence gathered by the disaster management committee of this country, and then there is an intelligence that will be gathered by the Volta River Authority and their engineers, that this would definitely cause havoc, irreparable damages. This will send people homeless. This will destroy lives and property. But yet, because it's not going to destroy their strongholds, they might have done these assessments. They might have calculated it. And I am saying it is a calculated attempt. Because it might have shown to them that where it will pass, the channels, the path of the spillage will take away a chunk of the votes
in those areas.
Well,
that's a conversation we would have to continue when Omano Etnasi on TVX was in Power FM. But again, you remember in 2008, President or 9, there was the time that we said that Akosombo Dam was running dry and that we have to go and pray.
Exactly.
And it became a whole lot of issues. And that's also coming up at a time where people cannot really tell the predictability of the rain patterns to say, let's spill and not spill. So we'll continue that conversation.
No,
but last Friday...
you see, let's make this clear. There are machines or there are submersible pressure transducers in the Akosombo Dam being managed by the engineers of the Volta River Authority. That you detect or send signals. That you give an intelligence that indeed this is going to happen. Right. So if somebody is telling us Ghanaians, please, all Ghanaians from the young to the old, this is a deliberate attempt. This is orchestrated. This can't be happening just like you are waking up from a dream. Overnight.
Now, you are a group of individuals who have come together to help the fortunes of the NDC, and then on Friday, you officially outdoored your group, which is the National Caucus for NDC parliamentary aspirants. And there's a statement you should have a portion I want to read. It says that, ladies and gentlemen, do not panic, do not throw your hands in despair, for the victory of the NDC is coming again. And that's one side. Again, you say that to our gallant NDC and its leadership, we want to assure you that we are a harmless group, rather a group of people who are hungry for power for our party and liberation of Mother Ghana from the mother serpent of corruption and cronies. This is a statement that you, Reverend Bacha, read to the people of Ghana on Friday. I'm sure a lot of things are going through the minds of Ghanaians. Why would you say that you are a harmless group?
We made that statement so that it wouldn't be to the party that we want to have a splinter party or we want to break away from the party. Because coming together as a group, as parliamentary aspirants, for the first time in history of politics in Ghana, this is a novelty. It has not happened in the country or in the history of politics since 1992 till now before. So in the first place, people will be wondering what is happening. What are they trying to do? So we needed to ensure, and from beginning, we have had some couple of engagements with our party stakeholders, and then we visited them, having interaction with them and all those things. So at the end of the day, we needed to assure them. And we needed to also assure Ghanaians that, and we needed to also assure the the opposition to us. I hope you understand.
Yes.
Yes, let's assure them that if there is going to be a breakaway, or if they think there's going to be an independent, or if they think that there's going to be something that will be a havoc to the victory 2024 for NDC, then please, we are not that group. But we are a group of people who are hungry. We are hungry for power first. What is in our mind, what is in our blood, whatever we are doing now is power 2024 and nothing else. And therefore, I keep saying, and I will be repeating it, even if you are an NDC person and you are going to stand against the victory 2024, we, the caucus, will come after you. That is what we mean here, that we are hungry for power. And we don't want any impediment in our way. Because if we look at what we are going through, for me to have my property and lease a property to you, to use it, and at the end of the day, you are making millions and I'm making a chicken change, it means that this country needs to be salvaged.
Okay. Now, let me come to Don. Don, you have close to 500 people, who are yet to be part of your body. Now, some of them feel that the party structure did not favor them during the primaries, and so others are better. Your Upper East Regional Chair said that you should first admit that you lost the elections, and then you make amends. How are you trying to do? What are you doing to rope in all the others that are left so that you can have a very, very formidable front?
Yeah, thank you very much. Indeed, as earlier on said, and in our presser, trust me, it's a difficult thing to brood over your losses. It's a difficult experience because I have experienced it in 2015, I have experienced it in 2019, and then again 2023. That should tell you that it's not a joke. But in as much as we are invested so much, some have just contested once, some twice.
Some are serial contestants.
Some of us have contested 3 times. Why we are now putting all our pains aside is the fact that the food has not yet been cooked. We are not thinking how we're going to eat it. We have looked at the conditions that are prevailing in this country, the hardship, the economic disarray, the conundrum, the way people are suffering. No, if you ask our market women when they take their goods to the market these days, nobody buys. Even people are fighting in Trotro for just 1 cedis, over 1 cedis or 50 pesos. That should tell you that this country is heading for doom. But why we want to leave all our pain behind, or want to kind of overcome our pain, our loss, and count our unity and unite as a force, is that one, there is strength in unity. And united we stand. But when we divide against ourselves, what we're telling ourselves is that, okay, we should lose the election again. And I can assure you, Ghanaians will not forgive the NDC. Ghanaians will not forgive us if we allow these people to break whatever they call, they will break the eight. They will break themselves, they will break their homes, they will break their children, they will break any eight. We have united behind the NDC, and we are sure that when we unite, we are going to take power from this wicked and dastardly MPP-led government. And that we are sure of. And so what we're doing is that we are appealing first and foremost to our rank and file, those who have contested, those aspirants, that please help us cook the food. Then we can all share the food and eat. Rather than saying that let the food burn, let it spoil, let it pour out, then I can assure you, you do not mean well for yourself. Neither do you mean well for your children or the generation yet to unborn. Because the country is at a crossroad, I must confess, and that all hands must come on deck. All hands we must join forces. We might become a force that should be reckoned with to be able to remedy or to redeem this nation from the hands of all individuals who are now thinking that they should become richer than the nation itself. And if an individual has become richer than the country, what it means is that many people will be poor, many people will be dying, there will not be drugs in the hospitals, there will not be good roads, which is indeed the situation right now. Many of our roads are very deplorable, and many people do not have even 1 square meal a day. And that should tell you that indeed it is a communal labor. And for us to put our house in order, we, the members of the NDC, first and foremost, as members of the NDC first and foremost, and those who have contested, you see, we are very powerful caucus. Why? Because we spend so much at our base. We energize the base of the party at the branches, at the constituency. We pay fees for our members at our branches, and we also support them with the hospital bills. We give them tokens. Until we do so, even some members who are in parliament do not come around unless when they see that we are going to take the seat from them. And I am telling the party that we are a force to reckon with. We are a group that cannot be discarded or dispersed. We need to be supported. We need to be encouraged. We need to be brought to the table so that when we win power, the leadership cannot decide what they do with the power. But as we speak, we are appealing to all our base that wherever you are, whatever that the constituency executives might have caused, let go of them. Forgive them for the sake of this nation, for the sake of our own children, who has no future under this MPP government. With the greatest of respect, they are destroying the future of this nation. Okay. And we must redeem this country by uniting our rank and file.
Let's just wrap this conversation up, and let me come to Reverend. Now, I think paragraph 17 of your statement, you say, quote, however, having appreciated the level of unruliness, worsening economic disaster, intolerance, nepotism, gross hooliganism of party hoodlums across the length and breadth of the country, just to name but a few, caused by the ruling government. This caucus, therefore, was brought about to hearten and reassure the rank and file of its members that all hope is not lost as long as we remain united and continue to offer our human resources and substances for party work in unity, despite our displeasures in diverse ways across our various constituencies, you say, unquote. What is the commitment here, 2024?
Thank you, Wisdom. If you look at it now, the database of the caucus, we are expecting plus or minus, let's say maximum 500 people Currently, as we stand, we are almost we are 400 and something. We have the majority of people on the base already. Those who have not joined the caucus is perhaps they've not heard of it. So that's what Don have said, that wherever you are through the launching and everything, if you are an aspirant, and some of the areas that have not even come on board were places that the primaries have not been held. It was suspended by the party leadership and all those things. So they have not gone for the primaries.
But the is on the 31st.
Yes, it's one of them, and the other places. So those are where the other colleagues are going to come, and then they will be part of it. That statement that you read, yes, we said it. And the reason why you said it, if you look at this concubine government that we are having, the family and friends, the nepotism, and all those things that they are doing, for you to, on a time of crisis, there is an epidemic which is COVID-19, and is killing people, is taking a whole lot of, and you put people at your facility, and then they are charging $150 per test, and at the end of the day, you say that you own the facility, you earn $10, and then in summary, the people made $87 million. And then we have just made 10% of that, which is $8 million. Wisdom. It doesn't make sense anyway. It doesn't make sense anyway. And therefore, whatever is happening in this country, it shows clearly that Ghanaians are being shortchanged in anything. And therefore, the caucus, we have come to join force with our party to make sure that we work for victory and redeem our people from this slavery, from this salvage and hostility that they are putting the people through. And that is what the caucus we are working for. And that is what we stand for, to make sure that Ghana is redeemed and saved and put it at the place that we need to be.
Reverend James Ofwe Bacha, thank you very much for coming.
Thank you, Wisdom.
And the Reverend is the PRO for the National Caucus of NDC Parliamentary Aspirant. And then we also have Don Emmanuel Agbanyo. He's the National Treasurer. Don, thank you for coming. I'm grateful.
Thank you, Wisdom.
All right, so that'll be it for our conversation this morning on TV XYZ. My name is Wisdom Hededzome. When you meet me, call me Nyansa. We'll take a quick break. When we come back on Manobet Nase on TV XYZ and Power FM. Good morning.